Alright, so important video today. This just came out today, but it's been announced ever since like 2 years ago, and I never heard of it until now, so that's kind of problematic for most people, I guess, because this thing needs to be seen by everybody. There's a movie coming out today called No Safe Spaces, and it's actually going to be amazing. It's basically a movie documenting the way that we are in modern day with all this safe space SJW thing, how they want to revoke the First Amendment, and how SJWs are, a lot of them are in college and university and stuff like that, because that's how they're born through gender studies classes. And, university is supposed to be the place in the world where ideas can flow and be discussed more than anywhere else. Meanwhile, in reality, that's actually where ideas and opinions and free speech are being censored the most. And that's what this documentary is going to expose, and I think that's fucking amazing. If you haven't heard of it like me, take a look at the trailer, guys. I think you'll be very happy to see this.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used against you.
You are not listening.
I want your job to be taken from you.
A protest has turned violent in California, Berkeley.
This is why we're fighting for the soul of America.
You should be able to share ideas without fear of being fired from your job or shouted down.
You are not to be heard. This is one of the few things one could say we have no precedent for in the United States.
You have the right to remain silent.
The only way we separate the good ideas from the bad ideas is to be free to say whatever we want about them. Anything you say will be used against you.
There's no free speech for fascists.
Your posts on Facebook, Twitter, and social media will be saved to shame you.
Kevin Hart has stepped down from hosting this year's Oscars.
Anything you say that we don't like will be used to shut you up. You can't be funny.
It's creating an atmosphere of fear and repression, and it's gonna bust.
You cannot think differently.
It makes it difficult for you to learn from other people.
Isn't it spooky that we're having this discussion?
You can't challenge us.
Kids grew up dipped in Purell, playing soccer games where they never kept score.
There is no debate.
The type of diversity that they hate is diversity of thought.
We reserve the right to be offended by everything.
No university should ever create a safe space. You're not going to protect people, and so the best you can do is to make them strong.
Yeah.
It bothers me for the young people who are being deprived of anything that could open their minds.
You have the right to remain silent.
Man, I mean, this trailer isn't a surprise to anybody. We all know this is happening, but it's so impactful. And, I mean, God, I'm at the point in my life where I can't be surprised or hurt by any of this because I'm just too used to it. I've become numb, but I kind of feel it now. It's just, to see it all combined together and not just a separate video once in a while is so painful. Just what's going on and not being able to talk or think or learn. The fact that, like they said in the trailer, the fact that ideas which are meant to toughen you up are considered bad, and just all these things, every word they said in that trailer and everything they will say in the full movie is going to be true. It's just so hard to deal with. But I do hope you guys go watch it. The trailer looks fantastic. Unfortunately, because they won't be getting support from the corporate mainstream media and all that, it's not going to be shown in like official Hollywood theaters. So they're kind of doing it like, in theaters that they themselves buy out across the United States, which means that this is not coming to Canada at all, but I will just watch it online. If you do live in the US, in the few states that they're actually showing it, I hope you go watch it. Anyway, there was another thing I wanted to bring up in this video, and I've been waiting to talk about Adam Carolla for a long time, and I never had a reason to do so, but now that he's part of this documentary, I finally have a way to bring this up. Adam Carolla once hosted a show called The Man Show. And if you don't know what this show is, don't worry, I'm going to be showing you very shortly. But this is the website for No Safe Spaces. And if you go down, you know, they talk about the movie a lot, and some questions I actually have a funny answer, like, what should I do if I think I'm already offended? Then you really need to watch this film, and things like that. But there's one part here where you can, you know, learn about who the people are that are involved in it, like Adam Carolla. Now, if you go to this page, it talks about Adam Carolla's life and why he's doing this and what kind of shows he's done in the past. Adam Carolla right there. And I read this whole thing, and his old show, The Man Show, isn't mentioned even once. And it makes you wonder if he's trying to distance himself from the show. I don't think he is, because obviously Adam Carolla hates PC culture, and I'm very fucking happy that he hasn't turned like some other people. Just because it's not mentioned here doesn't mean I'm going to hate Adam. I mean, like, it's fine because he's doing this amazing documentary, and he obviously hasn't been infected by the SJW curse. But it is odd that out of all of his TV shows, it's not mentioned in this article. However, there's a reason why I mention that specific show as well as somebody close to him who did turn. This, what I'm going to show you right here, is the very first episode of The Man Show. And now, if you've never heard of The Man Show, you don't know what The Man Show is. Basically, it was an old skit show that started in 1999. I think it only ran until 2003 or 2004. When this show started, I was, how old was I? I think I was 11 years old when the show started. And I loved it. I watched it until I was about 14 or 15 years old. I absolutely loved this show. It was hilarious. They did skits, kind of like a Mad TV style thing. It was very funny, but it was also known for being extremely sexist. This show would be shut down instantaneously today. I'm just going to show you the very first scene from the very first episode, okay?
Behold, the Hoover Dam. 6.6 million tons of concrete, harnessing nearly 1 trillion gallons of water.
16,000 men spent half a decade building it. They lived in shacks and tents along its base without drinking water, toilets, or shelter from the desert heat.
More than 100 of these men gave their lives to this dam. Their bodies are paved over in its walls. Its 2 million kilowatt capacity powers the greatest city in the world, Las Vegas.
And just as these heroic men did more than 60 years ago, we are building a dam.
A dam to hold back the tidal wave of feminization that is flooding this country.
A dam to stop the river of estrogen that is drowning us in political correctness.
A dam to urinate off of when we're really drunk.
We call this dam The Man Show.
I'm just gonna skip the intro and then go to the.
Second show. All right. Thank you.
For those of you who are confused by the very long applause they got, back in like the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, etc., TV shows, sketch shows, sitcoms, they would often get really excited and long applauses like that, because this was back in the day when shows were actually good and people actually enjoyed them. So.
Very nice, but we're not here for applause. We're here because we have a serious problem in this country, and her name is Oprah. That's right. Millions and millions of women are under Oprah's spell. This woman has half of America brainwashed.
She tells them what to read, what to eat, what to think, what to do.
We're the ones that are supposed to be telling them what to do, right? Enough is enough. The Oprahization of America must be stopped.
This Oprah needs to do a little less brainwashing and a little more sock washing.
We are here today to reclaim the airwaves, to take back the medium we invented. Hey, who invented the television, a man or a woman?
That's right. He didn't invent it for Oprah or Rosie.
Well, this Ally McBull.
No, he invented it for Charlie and his Angels, Hogan and his Heroes, Starsky and his Hutch. Those were shows men could enjoy.
We want to return to that era, and that is what this show will be. A joyous celebration of chauvinism. After all, what do guys want to see on TV?
We want girls. Girls jumping on trampolines, and monkeys, and midgets.
And the fastest beer drinker in the world who happens to be here tonight, that is the Fox. Fox, show them what you do. Look at that. That is talent.
And this is our solemn promise to you. As long as we're on the air, so help us God, every man's show will end with girls jumping on trampolines.
And yes, every episode did in fact end like that. I will show you right now by skipping to the end of this episode. So basically, it was an extremely sexist but also amazing show that went against PC culture, went against feminism, made all kinds of really funny skits and really amazing jokes based on sexism and things like that. It was really, really good and really, really funny, and it was a show to just enjoy yourself. You didn't need to be offended because people weren't like that back then. But there's a reason why I showed you this. Well, as you can see, the host was Adam Carolla, who, luckily, I checked his IMDb, and he is still, credited for the Man Show, so he didn't like have it removed or anything, which I'm kind of surprised by if he wanted to forget about the show, but I guess he didn't, so that's good. But there is another man standing beside him. Yes, that is Jimmy Kimmel himself, the PC SJW fucking bitch we see today, the political sellout hack motherfucker Jimmy Kimmel himself. Jimmy Kimmel now is one of the biggest SJW talk show hosts on TV right now. And he did everything in his power to make sure that this show was not connected to him. But actually, Jimmy Kimmel was far more sexist on this show than Adam was for The Man Show. And Jimmy refuses to ever admit that he was on this show. He refuses to admit that this show even exists. He refuses to admit the fact that he is a sexist pig, just like this show, talks about. I mean, Jimmy said himself in the intro there that you just saw that the show is all about chauvinism. This is nothing what Jimmy is like today. He is nothing more than a fucking hypocrite. So the next time you look at Jimmy Kimmel or see his show, just know that he is the biggest hypocrite on television. So I went to go take a look at Jimmy Kimmel's IMDb because I was incredibly curious to know if he was desperate to get himself removed from this show. And although Jimmy has completely changed as a person, he never mentions this show and has no credibility in terms of like if he acknowledges that the show exists and all that. It is still on his IMDb. You can see it right there. The Man Show TV series, 114 episodes, Jimmy Kimmel. So I'm surprised by that, but I'm also happy that he, at the very least, didn't get that taken off his IMDb so that he can go into full denial mode. But yes, Jimmy Kimmel is the biggest hypocrite on TV. Adam Carolla is fucking awesome. And both of you were awesome on The Man Show. If any of you do have skin thicker than paper, and you would like to see a really funny show filled with sexism and you're not going to be hurt by it, go check out The Man Show. It's hilarious. But anyway, check out The Man Show and definitely check out their new documentary called No Safe Spaces. I just wanted to make sure that all of you knew who Adam Carolla and Jimmy Kimmel were. They're not bad. Well, Jimmy is bad now, but anyway. Check out the No Safe Spaces documentary. See ya.